Hello everybody, Gons here. And this is the first official video for creatives in tech. And today I want to talk about a subject that can be a little controversial, a little complicated. And it's about that weird friction or dynamic that sometimes exists between marketers and creatives. Inside of like tech companies and software and B2B companies, usually the creatives are part of the marketing team, except with like a few exceptions. The problem with this sometimes is that there's like this weird notion or dynamic that like creatives turn into like service people or like kind of like button pushers, and they're not really a part of the conversation of what the team's doing. Marketers need to figure it out that creative work takes knowledge, takes time, takes like a lot of thought, and takes like context and reason. And also creatives need to kind of understand that like if you're working for a team and you're like working for a company that needs to hit certain numbers, like there needs to be a balance of like, yeah, you need to do work like that supports the brand and like how like the brand impacts the market and how people remember the brand, but at the same time you need to like work towards a dynamic of like you need to support people and help them hit their numbers. It's necessary to have the analytic mindset of like a marketer to understand like, okay, like what are the numbers we need to hit and like what's like how do we do that. But at the same time, creatives need to be part of the conversation, because the reality is like it's not a good approach if somebody just shows up into somebody's desk and it's like, yeah, we're gonna do this, and then like without really not understanding the nuances of how stuff works. You know, like you cannot expect somebody to create a bunch of pieces of design for a campaign in like an hour. Like stuff needs to have reason, context. Like it cannot be work just for the sake of doing work. Something that happens a lot that is more like in the bigger picture is in terms of like budgets. Like there's usually situations where like a digital marketer or whoever will ask for like $30,000, $50,000 for some sort of thing, and the company will gladly do it. But then like a video producer or somebody like along those lines will ask for like $5,000 to be able to have budget to make like the main piece of collateral material for a campaign. And then no, that's a lot of money. Just because like content just happens in the world at like such speed and like amount that people have like a weird notion that stuff doesn't take time and costs money, and that's something that needs to be overruled. And like the only way to do that is like through like mutual education on how things work. And if we talk about this from like a human perspective, we need to just be mindful of each other, right? Like there are people that are obsessed with numbers, with metrics, all this kind of stuff, and there's other people that are more creative and they want to approach things differently and they want to make beautiful things that sometimes are not what the business needs. And that's like where we need to understand each other. Like great brands and companies are the ones that manage to do both. There's like a notion that everything needs to be measured and everything needs to be tracked, and in this industry that lacks an edge and there's like stuff to be done to stand out, like a lot of that stuff is really things that cannot be measured, and that's where people are missing the mark. Like even though you're a person that is obsessed with measuring stuff, like you need to think what's really the kind of thing that has caused an impression on me, or like how do I remember the brands and the companies that I remember. And often that's not really numbers and results. It's more like stuff that impress you or made you feel in a specific thing, especially in this era where like everything is related to like personal experiences and like human to human connection. So my key takeaway for this video for the creatives: speak up, stand up, participate in the conversations, participate in what your team is planning on doing. Try to find ways to use your superpower to support your colleagues and your company to hit goals, targets, and numbers. But also find ways to use your ability to elevate the brand and create those experiences that people remember. And for the marketers, please listen. Understand that sometimes just because you think you need something, that doesn't really mean that it's the right way to approach that project. And that even though sometimes you think it doesn't, creative work takes time, takes effort, takes knowledge. At the end of the day, what I want is for creatives and marketers to forgive each other and to embrace each other. One team, one dream. Yeah, okay, one day maybe. So please subscribe if you think there was anything useful from this video. If there are like any topics or things you want me to talk about, don't hesitate to reach out, and I will see you all next time. My name is Gons and this is Creatives in Tech. Bye.